Now I know Prime and the press conference and all this stuff. He said he felt like he hyped this team up. He didn't give him the speech. They should have been more ready in this ball game. I don't know what the case is. I really don't, because it seems like it's being said every week, and then you come in lackluster. You can't get behind the eight ball in every game that you play. Every time Colorado plays a team, they behind the eight ball. They got to play catch up. Think about what this team can do if they was up by 14-21 in the first quarter. They're going to coast. There's no way you can catch them. But they're starting too many games behind the eight ball. Down 14, down 21, down 28, and got to have a miraculous comeback that they run out of gas and end up losing. They won this one. Wasn't a high scoring game, but they're glad and happy to get it, because there's no way you can look at this game and say, whoa, Colorado, they should have won this game. They should have blew them out. Yeah, if they came out the right way. You can't start the game the way they start games. You can't do it. They are very fortunate to come out of this ball game. Very fortunate. And Deion Sanders, like I said, no quit. This guy willed himself, would not allow this team to lose. I'm checking out the box sheet. I got it pulled up here. But he will not let this team lose. No quit in him. He said, forget it. I'm not going to pass no more. I'm going to run. I'm going to run people over. I'm going to win this game with my legs. And that's exactly what he did. But man, the shots he was taking. Each game he's taking hit after hit after hit, and he keeps on getting up. Now he's young. Bones are strong. You heal faster with bumps and bruises. I understand that. But I'm saying time is going to run out sooner or later. He keeps taking these blows. Every time he drops back, it seems like he's got to go under duress, under pressure, trying to make plays. And it's tough. But he single-handedly did this one. He was 26 of 42 for 239 yards, 5.7 on average, and one touchdown. I mean, nothing that just shoots off the score sheet or the box sheet. But hey, he did a hell of a job just willing this team to victory. Running game, you pretty much could say was non-existent a little bit, but 10 carries for 58 yards, 5.8 on average. Anthony Hankerson, he did what he could do when he touched the ball. Didn't touch it a lot, but when he touched it, he made something happen with it. Dylan Edwards, lately he just been, kind of on a downslide. Dylan Edwards, we expect more from him, more explosive plays. This should be a guy should be all-purpose, running the ball and catching the ball. But lately here, the past few weeks, he hasn't really stepped, he hasn't really jumped off the charts, playing a hell of a ball game. But whatever that has to do with, I know it has to do with the offensive line, of course. I mean, you're not going to keep giving these guys the rock if the offensive line is not holding up. Doesn't make sense. So your running game, Deion Sanders is doing what he can do for what they have, especially offensive line-wise. He has to scamper around. He has to make magnificent plays on the run, just create stuff. And he's doing a hell of a job doing that with no line. Think about if this guy had a line. That's what all the scouts are looking at. For this guy going to the NFL, they're like, we don't have a line behind you. You give him time to throw, time to read defenses and actually go through his progressions, this guy will pick you apart. With this talent and grit, with no quit, and how talented he is, and you give him an offensive line that's going to hold for at least 5 to 10 seconds, hey man, you're looking at something special. Something special. Because that game there, man, would give you a heart attack if you was watching that game live. It really was. Because you hear this stuff each week about what they need to improve on. You got to get people in position. You got to get up on these receivers. You got to do all this stuff thinking before the ball snaps so you can anticipate where wide receivers are going, where the running backs come out of the backfield. You got to think ahead. You can't be late reacting. Because a lot of stuff they do on defense, they be late reacting, or it's blown coverage, or bad body positioning. It's things like that that get you hurt. And what gets me is that every wide receiver from the other team, it'd be one guy, the star player, or whoever, always shows out against Colorado. One receiver will have 12. What he had? 12 catches for 134 yards. 11.2 on average. Elijah Badger. That's the guy I'm talking about. You can't allow their star receiver, or just one receiver, just get off the whole game. And that's what Colorado does. They allow one guy to beat them. And that guy, 12 catches for 134 yards. He had a hell of a game. But let's get to those Texans, man. And that's what I meant by almost got away and did get away. Because Colorado almost let this one get away, but the Texans did let it get away. And that's the frustrating part. This is pretty much brief, because if you watch the game, you know exactly what happened with the Texans. Red zone and third downs. This team had too many 3-and-outs. They kicked too many field goals. You have to get touchdowns in the red zone. It's very simple. There's nothing really to break down and talk about here. When they get in the red zone, they have to score touchdowns. You're going to let your field goal kicker be the superstar highlight of the afternoon? I don't think so. By the way, before I get started, this is Making It Monday. So y'all enjoy it. Get it over with. Tuesday will be a little better, even though it's terrible. But at least you made it from making it to terrible. Because it can't be terrible if you don't make it. Just saying. But yeah, the Texans let this one go. Atlanta Falcons is not better than Houston Texans. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, they got a lot of young talent. I know the running back is solid. We know about B. Robinson. He showed out. He did what he can do. Ritter, I like him. He's a good quarterback. I like watching him play. Pitts, he's another guy out there catching balls. Wide receiver / tight end, could be either or. Real good. Run after the catch. So they got some players over there. But we could have actually blown this team out. I know that might sound crazy to some people. If they were to capitalize in the red zone, they kicked too many field goals. Too many 3-and-outs. Just bad execution. That's all it was, bad execution. It wasn't nothing really the defense was doing. It was just the timing was off. A ball might have been too low here. A ball might have been too high there. But they didn't go in there sharp. They needed to be sharp on the road and take care of business. And they just didn't do it. And then you end up losing that way. Because it was a low-scoring game. It ain't like they was putting out there 30-some points. Good defensive game. Yeah, we could say the defenses were a little too good and made the offense seem a little off schedule. I don't want to say that too much because that ain't what I've seen in this ball game. I've seen some miscues. That's what I've seen. A lot of third downs that should have been completed. A lot of red zone situations that should have been touchdowns instead of field goals. And that's what's going to hurt you. So yes, the Houston Texans let this one go. They did. And I've stated before, they got bigger fish to fry coming on the schedule, and that's why you need to win games like this against the Atlanta Falcons. I just hate that this one got away. I really do, because it was very winnable. It was there for the taking. Just couldn't make that splash play to take the lead or get a 2-score lead. And another thing that frustrated me a little bit, why are we not pushing the ball down the field like we did in previous weeks? I don't care if it's covered. I don't care if it's not a place you can squeeze it in. Still throw the ball over the top. How many times did we go to Tank Dell? All these short in routes, out routes, 6-8 yards. Throw the ball over the top. We already discussed this. Take the top off the roof. I don't care if you don't complete it. Loosen this defense up a little bit. They didn't even take a big shot in this game at all. No overthrown bomb, nothing. You have to at least try it. I don't understand why they don't do that every game. Every game. So yes, it's frustrating.